Solutions. We're going to talk about customer experience trends and challenges that we at Viral Solutions believe that you need to keep in mind. And, it's always about the customer. But customer experience in the online world is just as important as it is in your favorite retail store and help from an associate or the way things are displayed. So this needs to be an item that you check off in your business to-do list. And it can be just as rewarding as an ice cold glass of lemonade on a really hot day. It can really make that much difference. But not all tasks are as easy to digest as that lemonade, which is why customer experience trends are not as widely adopted as they should be, because they're difficult. And this is especially true in our current environment. And we're going to be seeing a surge in internet traffic continue. From consumers looking for the best experience. In fact, 84% of customers say that experiences are as important as a company's products and services. And oftentimes that means that the customer experience is what wins. All right? But consumers say they're still struggling to experience the best brands have to offer. And that brand could be yours, mine, the big ones, the little ones. So the key to adopting the best customer experience trends, what's that? Well, be human. That's what it is in the physical store. That's what it is in the online store, right? You need to know your customers inside and out from a human perspective. You got to remove the friction. And how do you do that beyond just personality? Well, you can do it with data. Now, this sounds easy, but it isn't as clear as you would think. So here, we're going to introduce popular customer experience trends and detail how they can help you increase sales and better engage with your customer. Now, we'd be lying to you if we said that you will find everything you need to know about customer experience in this discussion. It's way deeper than we're going to spend time on, but we got a resource for you. Because it would take quite a few books and quite a few articles and lots of videos, which we have, to cover everything. But we're going to do our best to just kind of whittle down the information into like Cliff Notes, of which you can focus on right here and now. Especially as we shift into this new normal. Okay? Now, first step, and don't skip this step. Know your customers. You hear us say that a lot. And you might even be like, hey, yeah, I know my customers. Well, do you? You've heard us talk about this, knowing your market, all over the Viral Solutions blog and videos, constant, time and time again. And that's because knowing your target market, not just writing it out on an avatar sheet, but really knowing your market, is as essential to your business as you counting sales. In fact, they're closely connected. Knowing your target market deep enough to give your customers the experience they deserve is more than just researching physical demographics and income levels. Here's the thing. We're slowly emerging, supposedly, from a global crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic. And that has affected millions of people and businesses. Because of the way consumers are using the internet during this time, we feel that the customer experience is even more important now than ever, and we believe that isn't going to change. Your customers are searching for the best products online, and they have more time to dig in. So to capture those hearts and the minds of your target customer, you need to know their current problems and needs at this very moment. To do this, you got to dig deeper than just physical demographics. You got to look into age, gender, occupation, get answers to questions. Well, what's the questions? What are their fears, their longings, their regrets, their needs? What are they? Not from your perspective, from their perspective. And the best way to find out this, the answer to this question, if you're the leader of your organization, is to ask your salespeople or whoever it is in your organization that day in, day out talks to the customer. And find out if they're happy, sad, indifferent, and you got to look beyond the answer to the question. When you get an answer, think about what's not being said. Okay? Because your customer doesn't always shoot you straight. So you've got to be able to read between the lines. Another question to ask, where do they spend their time? In other words, how do they find you? How do they find other things? What's their favorite place to look? Social media, search engine, word of mouth, going into a store and shopping and then going online and looking. I mean, Amazon has become a major search engine. The really big shoppers, they go to Amazon, they find what they're looking for, they find those brands of products, and they go to other websites to try and compare prices. So what are their daily habits? What time of day do they typically do this stuff? Now, we're not telling you to stalk your customers. That's a typical reaction we get when we bring this up. But we are telling you to look at the data in Google Analytics, in Wicked Reports, in your CRM systems, to get to know them better and study what makes them tick. And then compare and contrast that with what you get from customer surveys or what your salespeople or customer experience people tell you. If you're a nonprofit, these are your donor development people. If you're for-profit, these are your business development people, customer service people. And compare what things are telling you. You, the owner, you, the director of a nonprofit, if that's who's watching, you're better off getting information from somebody else because you are too tied to the results. You got to be able to know the truth and have people in your organization that'll give it to you. There's this part called IoT, capital I, small o, big T, stands for Internet of Things. And it's a popular trend worth mentioning. So Internet of Things is a fancy way of saying internet-connected devices. And these devices share data that you can use to create stellar customer experiences. As an example, Amazon, okay, the dash buttons, I'm sure you've seen them. I'm sure you're aware of what they are. And they allow consumers to buy their favorite items with one click from the website. Instantly reorder your favorite products. Cool, huh? Great examples. Now, you may be thinking that Amazon implemented the dash buttons to get more sales. Yeah, yep. But there's more to it than that. By studying consumer buying behavior via these buttons, Amazon can use this data to improve the customer experiences and make it more personalized to each consumer that visits its website at a very specific time, product, service, know who they are, what their other buying habits are, and correlate all that. So let's say Amazon, as an example, discovers that Sally orders the same protein bars once a month on a weekend. But then she doesn't order again until after about 3 months. Since Amazon has studied Sally's buying behaviors, it can show Sally advertisements for her protein bar right around the same time she typically orders to keep her coveted brand in front of her. Sally is also getting more personalized customer experience that way. They can figure out between orders when she's probably about ready and not show it to her every weekend, making it easier for her to purchase her favorite products. You might say, but I'm not as big as Amazon. Okay, I understand. Not many here are. Anywhere are. So we hear you. The Internet of Things isn't just for enterprise-level companies. However, small businesses can take advantage as well, since any device that connects to the Internet can provide data. It just requires a little creativity. HubSpot recently did a report on Quonset nurseries in Massachusetts. And they used Internet of Things data to deliver a better product and experience for its customers. The nursery sells microgreens to restaurants, and it set up sensors that automatically adjust humidity, temperature, and hydration, so farmers can control those elements remotely. As a result, the nursery reduced waste and delivered fresher, higher quality products to its customer. So a lot of this is using data and not just the gut feel you get from your brain. Why is collecting data and researching your market so important? Because providing stellar customer experiences is only possible if you do it with their best interest in mind. A true experience is one where your customer is really happy. That impacts sales. That gets you testimonials. That expands customer advocacy. So consider this. Let's say you want to propose to your partner, which means giving them the best experience, right? I mean, this is a proposal. This is the type of thing that is remembered forever. But this would require knowing their deepest desires, wishes, things they talk about, what they love, what they hate. If they can't stand bugs in the outdoors, but love fine dining, you would never propose to them in a wooded lakeside environment, in the middle of a forest. It just sounds silly. And you're thinking to yourself, well, no kidding, Tom. But that's what many brands do, is they think that just because their instincts tell them that customers want a bug-filled wedding proposal, their customers will too. It's not about what you want or I want. It's what your customer wants. And you and I are not your customer. And great customer experience starts when we accept that very fact, that we're too close to our customer to know. And we often build products and services based upon what we think. You got to look at data and not follow your brain's gut or your instincts, because they'll lead you astray every time, and you'll be frustrated, and you'll wonder why you aren't selling anything or your business isn't growing. And just blame everybody else except your product, service, the way it's represented, and your customer experience. At Viral Solutions, we rely very heavily on data. And sometimes this is hard for our client to accept, that we can prove that a different avenue would work. It's one of the reasons why our clients, that's a tough one to swallow, for those that listen and truly use the brain power of our team, why they win so much. Now, if this really interests you, you need to take a deeper dive into things like market research and how to collect data, okay? How to make a great customer experience with that information. And you can go to viralsolutions.net/blog and look for these. Just search for market orientation and, with an ampersand, research. You'll find several multi-part articles there. You can search for how to do market research. You can search for what to consider when performing market data analysis. and you can search for data-driven marketing for rapid business growth. And we have all those articles on the viralsolutions.net/blog, and you'll find them, and I think you'll gain a deep, deep understanding of how to put all of this together. You know, they say thoughtfulness doesn't cost a lot. And this is our next point with great customer experience. Thoughtfulness. Sometimes it's the small things that make the biggest impact. We can spend so much time looking for those innovative, earth-shattering ideas that sometimes we forget that the low-cost initiatives, such as kindness and thoughtfulness, can go a long way. You know, people remember how you made them feel longer than anything. Now, we hesitate to call thoughtfulness a customer experience trend, but honestly, it should be the foundation of every business. But sadly, it's too often forgotten, or sometimes we get so deep in this Internet of Things and digital e-commerce style of marketing that maybe we try to do all of this automation and sales collection and push of marketing that we forget that there's a human on the other end. So that thoughtfulness should always be on our list, even in a digital world, this Internet of Things. So we've got that on our list. And it's one that easily can be implemented and produce huge returns. You see, customers who feel an emotional connection with your brand will become repeat customers and sharing evangelists. Thoughtfulness encourages these connections. Are you being thoughtful enough? Well, let's ask that question this way. Are you obsessed with providing customers with the best products and services? If not, truly obsessed with it, like this is what you focus on all day. When you go through your to-do list and tasks, look at what you're doing and how much of it truly provides a better customer experience from the customer's point of view, not you justifying your to-do list. Now, here's some practical ways that you can show thoughtfulness. How about a handwritten thank you card every time somebody buys something? Now, don't worry if I just made your hand hurt. There is a service for this. Now, we like to use Zendesk because it integrates with a lot of the software we use, so that trigger of a purchase triggers a handwritten card. Now, the handwriting comes from your iPad tablet or like device so that it can be imprinted into a card automatically. And then you can change those up as you go. Sorry about that. Zendesk. There's also one called Handwritten, but I believe it's spelled Handwrytten. Okay? You can then reduce customer service hold times on the phone. You can keep email responses to 24 hours or less with some of these tools. And it feels awesome. I mean, I've sent them to people, automated, and they got a handwritten, truly handwritten card and could barely tell the difference. And these are seasoned people. Smile is another one. When you're dealing with your customer, even though They aren't able to see your face like you can't on a podcast. But smiling, you can read it in somebody's voice. And it changes them, even a mad customer's attitude. Engage on social media. Comment to the comments. Always be thinking about how can I stir a conversation. Yes, we love social media to drive the click to the website. But really, it's social for a reason, especially groups. Groups are not like pages. Groups are for the audience. If it isn't for the audience and it's for you, that's a page, it's not a group. So engage. Because your community should feel that their opinions and their feedback and your impact on their lives matters to you. This is where your humility and humbleness come out. Thankfulness, thoughtfulness. You can also send surveys or call people to ask them, how can you improve? Now, I know a lot of us feel like that's bugging people or I don't have time for it. I'm telling you, you've got to make time for this. 84% of customers say they do business with who makes them feel valued and important. Now, the next point about customer experience for big returns, personalizing it. We talk about personalization a lot in our online content. And that's because it's one customer experience trend that never disappoints. It brings customers stellar experiences and drives more sales and more revenue. In a survey of 1,000 customers, 80% of them stated that they're more likely to purchase from a brand when it offers a personalized experience. And 90% said they find the personalization very appealing. And yes, personalization can be truly personalized, or it can feel personalized with software. So we talked about how to gather customer data in previous videos, podcasts, website blogs, and earlier in this discussion, and offered resources on how to research your market. And those are the things we talked about that you can find right in the viralsolutions.net/blog. And when you're armed with this data, look for opportunities to personalize your communication and messaging. So let's look at some very simplified examples of how to do that. You discover from your data in a subset of your customers' purchases more red shoes on your website than any other color. So how do you personalize their experiences? You can segment these folks so you can better target them. You should be able to do that with your system. When you send out, for example, a electronic newsletter, whether that be via email, like in something like Infusionsoft, or whether that be via intercom or a text message. When you send this type of information out, highlight your red shoes to a red shoe buyer and provide links to products that complement that or could be an add-on sale for you. Okay? send these newsletters to lovers of red. That includes images of other red items and maybe even things that can be personalized to the customer's interest, such as lipstick. Haven't worn any for a while. Red dresses. Worn a dress, not that one. Roses. Red roses. Okay? Whatever it is you offer, how can you show it in red? That little subtlety can matter. Offer them a discount on another pair of red shoes, or free shipping and a discount. Better yet, personalize the text, the email, the notification with their name on it. When they check out, you can offer these things too, and you can put their name on the thank you page. Ask this red purchasing segment to upload to Instagram a fun picture of them wearing their red shoes. Make sure you create special branded hashtags for things like this. And make sure you throw in a chance to win like 5 more pair of red shoes in your next giveaway for anybody who bought red shoes. When this segment visits your website, offer recommendations that include the same red shoes or similar items they may have already purchased from the last time they visited or bought from you. If they left red shoes in their shopping cart, send a cart abandonment email offering a discount to complete their purchase. Will all of these work? Are these just crazy viral solutions ideas? Things that maybe you think aren't practical? Well, that's for you to test and to figure out. But if you're struggling, if your sales aren't going well, you've got to ask yourself, how good are you really at customer experience? Or are you so focused on the business side of it and looking for an answer when it's within yourself and your heart and the knowledge of your customer? And we can help you with that. What we do know is that by showing your customers you care about their interests, red shoes, they feel more valued and more connected. Now, I've got some clients that I've worked with at Viral Solutions with our team who have a hard time selling anything. In other words, they're a startup. At some point when you implement all this, you've got to take that customer experience data, and that could be telling you that your offer isn't something that somebody's willing to pay for. A minute. You love it. You're into it. It's yours. You created it. It's not selling. You've changed your advertising. You've changed your marketing. You've changed your colors. You've changed your imaging. You've changed your pricing. You've changed the way you use Internet of Things. You've really gotten personalized. The problem could be is that your offer isn't something somebody's willing to pay for. And that too is powerful data that you can and should use to make a change. Customer experience data, personalization, receiving feedback from your people who talk to customers all the time. If you've got a product that's bombed and your gut thought it'd be great, which, by the way, you should have done research to start with to find out what competition is out there offering this. There might be something out there that's way better than what you got. You've got to change. It's you. It's not them refusing to buy. They're going elsewhere, or they're going to milk whatever they can for free. This is a real discussion. This is also the flip side of great customer experience and engagement and how it can benefit you. Now, if you want more information on how to personalize your marketing, look at our site and search data-driven marketing for rapid business growth, or search for why and how to personalize your transactional emails, which you can do the same thing with text notification. You can do the same thing with a push notification through intercom. Next great customer experience topic: reduce friction during the buyer journey. You know, the customer value journey that we've talked about as a digital marketer certified partner, which, by the way, customer value journey is so valuable, it's trademarked. That's how original and awesome it is. But the buyer's journey starts with great brand awareness, and it ends with retaining the customer after the first sale. Along that journey, customers can get stuck, experience friction in scenarios that may affect their perception of your brand in a negative way. So let's put together some scenarios for you to consider. A consumer becomes aware of your brand via a blog and subscribes to your email list. Now, I know this is a marketing tactic that's a bit aged, but I still see a lot of that out there. And they unsubscribed after getting bombarded with sales emails. Likely they aren't well targeted or segmented, and you're bringing them a subject that they don't care about, or they're tired of hearing about, or they don't have time for. Here's another scenario. A prospective customer or potential customer is thinking about making a purchase on your website, but they have a question and a need answered before they buy. They search the website, they can't find an answer, and they want to contact you. And they want a quick answer. I mean, that's the environment we're in. Quick answer now. They leave the website and they purchase from somebody else because you don't have chat there. It's not being manned. It's evening. You're not there. You don't have a quality robotic response to cover those times. You have poor keywords in your website. I realize I'm talking negative here, but this is a negative customer experience conversation. It's real. It's what you gotta look for. And you gotta grind it and get it right. Another scenario. A consumer reaches a customer service agent within your company, and they ask a question about the product. The response takes about 3 days to get back to them. So they might have filled out a form, or they might have filled out web chat, and it's, say, Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Your people are leaving in a half an hour to an hour. Nobody's manning the website on the weekend. And oh, by the way, Monday's a holiday. The people that are selling and doing well, they don't do things like that. It's too late if it takes that long. People expect an immediate answer and a response. So either your keyword and FAQs and robotics and blog topics have to cover every angle and possible question that gets asked, or you got to have people there that know the answers. That's how you grow a business. Yes, that's how you grow expenses. That's how you grow a business. Another scenario. A customer wants a refund, but they can't figure out how to request one. So then they feel like the only thing you and I care about as the business owner is the purchase, which then plants a negative seed in their head and they won't come back. And let's say they spend 15 minutes searching their invoice for how do you do this? Where's your return policy? And they get frustrated in the process and they'll never buy from you again. Or less often. So a great customer experience, even on a negative experience to your sales, a refund, can help sales and customer retention. These scenarios that we listed off are very common. And though they may seem insignificant in and by themselves, they can frustrate the customer and derail a great customer experience. Make every step of the buyer's journey as easy as possible for your customer. So to identify friction points in your buyer journey, take a walk through it yourself. Ask your customer what that experience is like. Ask your team members that deal with the customers all the time, what do they hear for complaints? Listen to those complaints. Support issues and improvement based upon that feedback. Constant improvement. Now, I'm not talking about the kind where you're just dealing with the occasional squeaky wheel. Okay? I'm talking about improvements that make sense. Which ones make sense? You make the change, you make the improvement, you watch the data. The data improves, maybe your NPS score improves, that was a good move. Now, there are times that people will complain about a customer experience issue and it has a negative result after you fix it. And that's because you had an isolated case that everybody else thought, wow, this is a great experience. Now it's not. This is why data is critical to customer experience. So here's what you need to know about customer experience trends. Creating a stellar customer experience for your customers is much more than a quarterly checklist of, hey, this is good to have. And then that helps you meet your yearly marketing quota. There are a lot of customer experience trends out there, so focus on the ones we mentioned in this segment, because these are the ones that we're finding make a big difference for our customers and likely yours. And our customers run the gamut of industries all over the place. So we're very confident that if you focus on these, it'll really help. So let's summarize everything we've talked about. We've talked about why knowing your customers is paramount to improving customer experience. And if you're the director of a nonprofit, head pastor in a church, the business owner, the C-suite executive, it's not what you see in your customer experience and them being happy. It's what the people in the trenches think and what they tell you. And make sure you accept their candid responses. How the Internet of Things drives sales and loyalty. We talked about that. We talked about how thoughtfulness can bring big rewards. Personalizing your customer's experience is a fundamental and easy way to create connections, and that's what drives sales. That's what drives loyalty. That's what increases customer lifetime value. We also talked about removing friction during the customer value journey process. That reduces frustration. That helps with repeat sales. If you need help implementing the customer experience trends that will give you the most bang for your buck and produce big returns, or you're really struggling selling anything and we need to have a really heart-to-heart talk about what is true customer experience and what's a great offer, talk to us here at viralsolutions.net. Yeah, we're kind of data enthusiasts. Yeah, we're StoryBrand certified with our guide. Yeah, we've studied Adobe Digital Marketer certifications, college educated, in the trenches, 30 years selling and marketing experiences. So we might know a thing or two, but what's important is you and your business, not our skills. We're here to make you do this right and to help you look really good. So let's get the analytics set up so we can gather key data and drive your business and then make smart decisions. If you want to chat, find us on social media. Find us at viralsolutions.net. Call us at 888-816-1222. Sound like our kind of people. Thank you very much. Hope this was helpful. I think it can make a lot of difference in your business, but it takes a lot of work. It takes some humility. It takes knowing that your customer is always right with their actions. Make it a great day.